Good evening. Welcome to the Livonia Public Schools Board of Education regular meeting of February 23rd, 2026. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Bradford?
Here.
Mrs. Frank?
Here.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. McFarland?
Here.
Mrs. Acosta is here. President Burton?
Here. And we have a quorum. We have some of our students here from the Livonia Career Technical Center tonight, and they're going to be leading us in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We would like to welcome everybody to our meeting this evening. Sometimes we have an audience and sometimes we don't. So tonight we are very excited. We have a whole lot of folks here celebrating some really exciting things going on in the district this week. So thank you for taking time out of your evening and bearing the cold and getting out here to celebrate with us. Tonight's meeting is a regular meeting, or what some refer to as a voting meeting. So after our celebratory items that we'll be doing first, which are definitely the most fun, we'll go into a voting session, voting portion of our meeting. During that time of the meeting, you may not hear as much discussion about some of the items that we are going to be voting on, and that is because we discuss them at length at the study session and the committee of the whole. If you're looking for detailed questions and answers about some of these topics, you're welcome to go back and listen to them on our website. You're also always welcome to attend study sessions or committee of the whole meetings if you'd like to hear more of the nitty-gritty details. And that's where we usually beat the heck out of items before we get them to the point that we're all comfortable and ready to vote on them. So the voting portion usually goes fairly quickly this evening. We have agendas that are prepared for anyone who is in attendance this evening. They are just out the door to my left, so if you'd like to have a copy of the agenda, feel free to go ahead and grab one. If you're watching from home, you can find our agenda on our website, which is livoniapublicschools.org. If you hover over the board tab, you can drop down to board meetings, and you can find an agenda there to follow along with. Our school district teaches character traits to our kids every day. It's been part of the curriculum for a very long time. And the top of the list is respect. You will hear respectful behavior from this Board of Education under all circumstances. We take it very seriously. You have our commitment that we will treat each other and everyone who's in attendance with respect tonight, and we ask that everyone who's in attendance do the same. We will be taking a break after, after item 3C, which is our district update from the superintendent, in order to congratulate our honorees and our guests this evening. So if you want to hang on to that point, we'll have a 5 or 10 minute break or so, take a few pictures, and at that point, if you'd like to stay for the rest of our meeting, you are more than welcome. If you'd rather go home and enjoy some dinner, that's a good time to plan on doing so. While we are having our honorees this evening, if anyone does want to take photographs, you can feel free to move around the room to get a better angle of whoever it is that you're trying to photograph, if that's the case. We're going to go on to the next item on our agenda right now, which is item 3, communications, and 3A is the recognition of Educational Administrators Week 2026. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mrs. Jarvis.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District adopt the attached resolution establishing the week of February 23rd, 2026 as Educational Administrators Week in Livonia Public Schools.
Support.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Frank, and we'll hear from Mrs. Jenkins.
Thank you. Good evening, President Burton, members of the board, Superintendent Oquist. Tonight, we would like to take a few moments to recognize a very special group of staff members here in LPS. Each year, our district formally designates the last week of February as Principals Week, but starting with this year, we are expanding this recognition to also include the other half of our district's leadership team, and those to include our academic and student services coordinators and our incredible 3 athletic directors. Each of these leaders are essential to the success of our students, staff, and our district as a whole. We've created this short video. If I could have Mrs. O'Brien press play, and please enjoy. All right. It's quite a group. At this time, I'd like to highlight each of those groups by telling you a little bit about what they do each day. So anyone who has ever visited our schools, you know that our principals and our assistant principals are everywhere all the time. They wear many hats during any given school day. Elementary principals can be seen comforting a kindergarten student who may be having a moment or dressing up for school spirit days. Some of our principals even purposely come under attack by silly string, dunk tanks, cream pies in the face, you name it. And they're always there, smiling the entire time, while the students have an absolute blast with their reward for their achievements. Our secondary principals and assistant principals play a critical role in reminding students that they are safe and that the school is a great place to be each and every day. They do this with quiet leadership by being present, being visible in the hallways, being accessible, and simply by giving high fives to kids and saying, "How's it going?" in the halls. They lead large staffs in their schools with the skills of true leaders, setting the tone for their school and serving as role models for all that we do and believe here in LPS. Each of our principals and assistant principals set the tone in their individual school community. They recognize the importance of connecting with students and staff by forming respectful relationships that foster a true sense of belonging in our schools. And then moving on to our academic service coordinators, led by Teresa O'Brien. Our academic services coordinators work tirelessly behind the scenes to create and implement consistent curriculum, best practices, and ongoing professional development for our staff. They each have their area of expertise, and we are so fortunate to have them as such a meaningful support to our educators across the district. Our wonderful team of student services coordinators, led by Megan Sproul, also work tirelessly behind the scenes to uphold, support, and guide continuous improvement to the services our schools provide to all students. Sometimes their work is heavy, but they carry out every function with immense grace, compassion, and unmatched skill and professionalism. Their motto is all means all, and that truly sets the tone for one of our core beliefs here in LPS. We are so proud and thankful for these two special teams of coordinators. And lastly, we move on over to our trio of amazing athletic directors, Casey Conway, Arnie Muscat, and Dusty Hall. They all three came on board at the same time, each having huge shoes to fill with the retirements of Mark Haig, Lori Hyman, and Ron Hammy. But just like in the world of athletics, these three were up for the challenge of leading and expertly conducting a chorus of 18 different sports at their individual high schools. 18 sports, not including multiple teams in most of these sports that include boys, girls, freshmen, JV, and varsity squads. So that is a huge amount of teams. Our ADs are widely respected for their focus on student safety, sportsmanship, and teamwork. Behind the scenes, they are managing numerous tasks on the school, district, and league and state levels. They are truly the heartbeat of our award-winning athletics here in LPS, and we thank them for their dedication and their passion for their work. With student growth, collaboration, and the climate and culture at the center of all that they do, our administrators are simply the best. As a special thank you, I'd like to invite Trustee Liz Jarvis to join me at the podium to read a special resolution that we've prepared. And also if I can invite Jeff Burnside to join us as well. Mr. Burnside is an assistant principal at Churchill High School and is also co-president of the LEADS organization here in LPS. I'll turn it over to you, Mrs. Jarvis. Thank you. Oops.
Livonia Public Schools Board of Education, February 23rd, 2026. Educational Administrators Week Resolution. Whereas Educational Administrators Week is dedicated to recognizing the significant contributions of Livonia Public Schools principals, assistant principals, coordinators, and athletic directors, and their commitment to providing quality educational experiences and guidance for students. And whereas energetic and inspiring educational leadership is essential if schools, teachers, and support staff are to implement college and career-ready standards and assessments. And whereas educational administrators play a vital role in the academic, socio-emotional, and physical well-being of all students, and the continual professional growth of all staff. And whereas we join with educators, parents, and students to raise awareness of the importance of educational leadership in our school district. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the trustees of the Livonia Public Schools Board of Education recognize the week of February 23rd, 2026 as Educational Administrators Week, and encourage all citizens to thank and support the efforts of these excellent leaders in our community.
I'll turn it over to Mr. Burnside, who has a few words. But before I do that, I'd like to personally and on behalf of the superintendent and the board, thank all of our administrators who have joined us this evening. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join us tonight. We really appreciate your attendance. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
On behalf of the administrators of the Livonia Public Schools, thank you for recognizing us for Administrator Week. It truly means a great deal to all of us. I'm incredibly proud to work in this district. Livonia Public Schools is a phenomenal place to serve. That starts with our outstanding Board of Education. Your steady leadership and commitment to doing what is best for both our students and staff does not go unnoticed. You lead with care, responsibility, and vision, and we're all grateful for that. We're also fortunate to have a strong and supportive cabinet under the leadership of our tremendous Superintendent, Andrea Oquist. We are encouraged, supported, and challenged to keep growing as leaders. Of course, schools only work because of the people inside of them. Our teachers continue to push forward, trying new strategies, adapting to this constantly changing world of 2026, and doing everything they can to help students succeed. Alongside them, our social workers, psychologists, and counseling staff provide critical support for students and families, helping them navigate academic, emotional, and personal challenges with care and professionalism. Our paraprofessionals are patient, compassionate, and are always present for students in ways that often go unseen, but absolutely essential. Our custodial and maintenance teams keep our buildings safe, clean, and functional. They clear sidewalks before sunrise, fix what breaks, and ensures our schools are ready for each day. Our food service staff keep our students and staff fed, energized, and ready to learn. Our transportation team works tirelessly to safely get our students to and from school every day. And our secretarial staff truly are the lifeblood of our buildings. They keep us organized, especially me, calm the chaos that is every day, and support everyone who walks through our doors. As administrators, we're honored to serve alongside all of them. We wear many hats throughout the day. At any given moment, you may see us counseling a student, supporting a family, covering recess duty, bus duty, gym duty, or lunch duty, or stepping into any other number of supervisory roles to ensure students are safe and supported. And you might even see us teaching a lesson in the classroom from time to time. That was just a Tuesday, by the way. You will also see us present at athletic events, performing arts, concerts, plays, and the PTA meetings, because our commitment to students does not end when that bell rings at the end of the day. We may be troubleshooting a facilities issue, handling a difficult conversation, responding to an urgent parent concern, or even grabbing a mop or a screwdriver if needed. We are instructional leaders, problem solvers, listeners, mediators, and sometimes therapists, even though sometimes we need our own. We step in wherever we're needed to make sure that our schools run smoothly and that our students remain at the center of everything we do. So we're proud to serve this district, proud to work along such dedicated professionals, and proud to support the students and family of Livonia. On behalf of all the administrators, thank you for this recognition. We are honored and remain committed to continuing the work that makes this district such a special place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burnside. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Do we have comments or questions from the superintendent or board members? Nope. Mrs. Frank?
Well, I'm so grateful that we are doing this year. We do a piece of it every year, but I love what we're honoring because you guys take such good care of our kids from in such critical places in their lives, from the earliest kids that come in the kindergarten, kids that are missing their mom, to the high school kids who don't want to go home. And so we are so grateful that you take care of our children and that the children entrusted to you, that it matters to you. And we can see that by your work and what you do every day. And so as a parent, I'm so grateful. I was at an event about an hour away in Saline this past weekend, and I walked by a gentleman, and I did a double take, and it was Mr. Pacey, and he had come to see his kids in a wrestling tournament an hour away. And I just think what you guys do makes a difference. And my son, who's a senior in high school, had a wrestling tournament, and one of his teachers came, and he said it was so cool to have that teacher there. And so the impact that you have on kids is vitally important. And so I just want to confirm to you and tell you how much we appreciate it, because what you do in these kids' lives, from the earliest days to the end of their academic career with us, we're so grateful for what you do. So thank you.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? Mrs. Oquist?
Thank you so much. Thanks, President Burton. Stacy, you did a wonderful job highlighting our leaders across the district, and I want to thank Christine Broom, principal at Hayes, Jen Wilson, principal at Buchanan, Kristen Casada, principal at Churchill, Casey Conway, athletic administrator at Churchill. Of course, we just heard a wonderful thank you and comments from Jeff Burnside, our co-president of Leeds, as well as assistant principal at Churchill, and Lindsay Gray, our principal at the Livonia Career Technical Center. We love having each of you here. It is one more evening on your schedule that we know is already so busy. I know I've shared with you before, but being a principal was truly my favorite thing in the whole world. And it is such a privilege, and it is such an awesome responsibility too. What you carry every single day to support your students, to support your staff, to respond to parents, to lift one another, and to be a thought partner with your colleagues. It is an all-encompassing role that takes you from before the school day starts to well after the school day ends. We are so grateful for what you do. We know that you truly are the heartbeat in your schools, and you set the tone for welcoming your staff, who then in turn make the magic happen in the classrooms, right? And so we know the importance of the role of leaders, and we are so grateful for our administrative leadership team in this district. I know you probably get tired of hearing me brag on them, but they are exceptional. They are truly exceptional. Jeff, thank you so much for your words on behalf of representing not only Leeds, but all of the groups that we work with throughout our school district. You have been such a tremendous addition to Livonia Public Schools. I'm so proud to hear you say that you love being here as a leader, because we feel so lucky that you chose us to join us at the point that you did. And we're so grateful that that Leeds is such a committed team of leaders that show up for kids every single day in so many ways. So we love you all, and we're so proud of you. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from board members? I would just like to thank you as a parent, which is the lens that I look through most often when I'm looking at a situation like this. My kids spanned 3 kids over 8 years. So in all those years and a household move in the middle, we went through a lot of principles. But thank you so much for your, what I see as a parent as the most important job that you have, which is setting the tone in the building. It makes a vital difference. Going from building to building isn't the same. And yet the needs in every single building are not exactly the same either. But thank you so much for taking the time. You have a really unique role, and I think it's pretty challenging to be able to serve the students and the staff and the parents simultaneously, because our children are absolutely the most important for all of those groups, but we don't always see the same road to get there. You're the one that has to, that's in the center of the hub, that has to navigate some of those, as Jeff, as you said, some of those difficult conversations at times. And they may be with any parts of those 3 prongs. But thank you so much for the job that you do of setting the tone in the building. That's first and foremost before you do any of the tasks in your day. And Jeff, I love the list of the various tasks. For those of us who've been in buildings and we've seen all that, but it still brings a smile to remember each one of those things actually happening. So thank you so much for your work in getting all the important tasks done, making certain that the buildings are being run appropriately, educationally soundly, legally. It's complicated, but first and foremost, thank you for the tone that you bring into those buildings every single day. It makes a world of difference. Any other comments from board members? Nope. Seeing none, we will go ahead and take a vote on the motion before us. We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Frank, on Educational Administrators Week resolution. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. Congratulations and thank you again. The next item on our agenda is item 3B, the recognition of Career and Technical Education Month. And we'll hear from Mrs. Jenkins again.
Thank you, President Burton. We have yet another LPS Point of Pride to celebrate tonight. It is Career Technical Education Month across our nation, the state, and right here in Livonia Public Schools. CTE Month is a public awareness campaign that designates the month of February for school districts and communities to celebrate the value of CTE across the nation. Here in Livonia Public Schools, we have been proud to offer career technical education to our high school students for decades. We are fortunate to have a recently renovated and expanded LCTC as our hub for career-focused educational programs that connect students to high-demand career pathways. As you know, our LCTC hosts a variety of programs, including graphic design, digital illustration, business management, marketing, fashion merchandising, a robust career intern program in which students have real-world experiences in local places of business, a whole host of health sciences courses that cover sports medicine, pre-nursing, and pre-medical, hospitality management, technology courses that span the areas of digital security and computer repair to and also internet engineering, mobile app development, video game design and animation. The list goes on. We also offer courses in skilled trades, including construction trades, which covers everything from plumbing and electrical to floors and roofs and everything in between. Automotive technology, several applications of engineering and architecture, and finally, public safety and law enforcement career readiness programs. A handful of those programs have expanded over the years. We're offering more sections now and serving more students than ever at the Career Center. So needless to say, LCTC is a very busy place. To celebrate CTE Month, students in the graphic design classes created 2 vinyl posters that hang outside of the main office. And those posters are now covered with sticky notes. And the question was, or the prompt was, I love LCTC, ... So here are just a few of the sticky notes that really stood out to me when I checked it out. The Career Center has a lot of tools for hands-on learning. It is a good place to get firsthand experience. Another sticky note was, I love LCTC because it provides us with amazing opportunities, job-based education, and social skills that regular school does not provide. Also, the teaching staff provides a safe learning environment. Another note said, I am able to learn skills that will help me be successful in life since they will be useful in my career. Another one said, I love this place because of the community. Another said, I get to meet people from different schools, which is a very cool aspect of the Career Center. Another said, I love being able to explore and learn about areas that interest me. I get training for a job that I want from people that I admire. The staff here is amazing and so sweet. The Blue Line man makes me smile every single day. There are 2 Blue Line, very smiley, very friendly Blue Line folks who help us out at the Career Center each day. It is a special place indeed. Joining us this evening, I would like to welcome a few students and staff members who will share a bit more about LCTC. At this time, we will welcome construction trades instructor Tim Martin and AJ Braden, who is a student in the program. So I'll turn it over to do you want to go first, Mr. Martin?
Sure.
Okay, I'll turn it over to Mr. Martin, followed by AJ, and we're going to also highlight 2 additional programs after that, and then we'll hear from Principal Gray. So I'll give you space here at the podium. Come on up, guys.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for having us in honor of Career Tech month. My program, Construction Trades, is a 2-year program, all-encompassing, trying to get these kids ready for the workforce, whether that's apprenticeships, construction management degrees, or going off and eventually open their own businesses. The year 1 program, it's a exposure program where the students are going to learn everything from safety first. We start with the OSHA 10 certification. Then we get into all the hands-on stuff, so masonry, carpentry, electrical, plumbing, heating, cooling, drywall, roofing, siding. Any 2 weeks you stop by, we're going to be working on a different facet, different trade, and getting these kids exposed so they can kind of figure out which one they like, which ones they don't, and then hopefully pursue that in their career. And minimally, those students leave our program in first year with a really healthy set of skills as future homeowners and going into the workforce. Our year 2 program, we are really geared up for the students that are going into the trades, that want to become residential builders, the ones that are dead set on going into the colleges, into the apprenticeship programs, which AJ is one of those students. That program, we're fully immersed in contracting. So we'll go in this year, I'm sure all of you've seen the building we're building by the Career Center. A massive storage building, a lot of fun, a lot of work. And the students do all of it based off their teaching from the first year. We also have part of that program where we do home renovations with the city of Livonia. We finished that one house last year. We have one house sitting, waiting for us to get there. We're just waiting to finish this project up that we're working on currently. Which we should be there
hopefully soon.
In the next couple days. I hope we're finishing up siding, and then we're going to break free from that and get to the house, so these students can work on a residential building for the last part of their senior year. That program, we do the 60-hour builder's license certification, so they can sit for their builder's exam by the time they either turn 18 or graduate. And then we do the OSHA 30 program, which is the national safety certification for all our apprenticeships, trade schools, whether they go to university or any union hall or anything, they have all their safety training done when they leave us. So without further ado, this is one of our star students, AJ Braden, who's going to talk to you a little bit about his experience.
Yeah, so first I want to just say LCTC is just awesome. It's what I wake up in the morning, I'm just excited to go. Especially Mr. Martin and Mr. Lester. They make the class just so fun. And so I kind of chose construction as my career path, is just because I know college wasn't for me. I love working outside with my hands, and I just love hands-on experience, and that's what construction is. All it is just we're building something that benefits others, and I just can't express enough how much it means to me, and it's the best program I've ever enrolled in. So other than that, I mean, with the credentials that we get from construction too, it helps me get into the real world like that. I mean, it'll boost my, it'll boost everything for me. So it'll be easy enough just to get into the job and hopefully run my own business one day. So other than that, yeah. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to mention also, AJ was part of an interview this afternoon with the Detroit Free Press. They came out to do a story about, the different decisions that kids make after high school. So he and Jackson did a great job and told their story, told their why. So it was really a proud moment. Next, we'd like to welcome Christine Kiernan, who is an advanced medicine teacher. And she brought with her one student, Trinity Sturm. Come on up.
Hi, I'm Christine Curtin. I teach our advanced medicine program. So at the Career Center, we have a lot of health science courses. There's 5 of them, and right now we do 2 years. So I teach our second year program at advanced medicine. One of our pathways that we have for health sciences is a pre-medicine pathway, and so that kind of gets students ready. It's their introductory anatomy, physiology, and sort of getting ready for the biomedical world. Our other pathway that we have is sports medicine, and so that's more of their physical medicine and rehabilitation studies on that side. Both of our programs offer a robust set of certifications for our students. So all of our kids leave with OSHA 10 certifications in healthcare. They leave with CPR certifications. They leave with first aid certifications, and our Stop the Bleed certification. In our second year program, we offer them a little bit more career readiness as well. So for my program, they have a patient care technician certification that they will leave with, or they'll be qualified to sit for that at least. And then we also offer our seniors in our pre-medicine route an EKG technician. For our sports medicine, they are offered the physical therapy aid, and so they get to kind of do the sports medicine route with that. So we are really proud of our students and everything that they accomplish in our programs, and we're really proud of the fact that they are both sort of workforce ready if they want to be, or they can do post-secondary bound as well. So Trinity's here to speak a little bit about her experience with our pre-medicine pathway and sort of what that's offered for her.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Trinity Sturm. Thank you so much for having me today. Like AJ said, this program is really the best thing that's ever happened to me. I want to acknowledge the staffing that you guys have at this career center. They truly, I don't know where I would be without them. The knowledge that Ms. Kernan gets to share with us and my first year teacher, Ms. Troutman, they truly are the best things that have happened in my educational career. They have so much to share with us, and they've only furthered my love for the medical field and have proven what I want to do with my life in the future. Everything that we do throughout this program has given me so many different advantages throughout this field. For our patient care technician certification that we're working towards, gives me a huge advantage for working during nursing school. It also connects with my internship. I interned on the labor and delivery floor in Henry Ford Providence Hospital in Southfield, and they have actually offered me a position as a patient care technician after graduation once I hopefully pass this certification test. So just all the advantages that I get from this, the knowledge and exposure that we have is mind-blowing. I don't know where I would be without this program, and if I was like, oh, maybe I like nursing and got to nursing school and was like, this is not for me, I would have to completely restart. So I do not know where I would be without this program and their education and everything that they have to offer for all of us. It's amazing. I really do love everything about it. It's perfect.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. And finally, we welcome Mr. Gary Mann, who teaches criminal justice, along with Do you have two students with you? Yep. Okay, we've got Angel Green and Drew Allen. Come on up, guys.
So thank you so much for letting us speak tonight on behalf of the Career Center. I teach criminal justice. When I started teaching at the Career Center, we had one program. We had 3 blocks. And with your support and the needs of the building, we've hired a second criminal justice instructor. So now we have 2 programs. Roughly 150 students total in the program, so we're able to reach so many more students now. And with that, we've began working with early middle college through Schoolcraft, and now we actually have a Criminal Justice 2 program. And so our CJ1 program, it's really the basics of law enforcement, right? I kind of call it the police academy without all the yelling and screaming. But when they're done, they will receive a national law enforcement certification. They'll be CPR certified, Stop the Bleed, and also we have weekly modules or monthly modules that we can do that are actually the same modules that law enforcement departments use for their annual training for their officers. So when they graduate, and trust me, I know the kids don't love doing them. We've had this discussion, but when they walk into these job interviews, they have a stack of certifications that they show these departments, and the departments literally know they're coming from the Career Center because we're the only center in the area that provides these opportunities for the students. And, you know, I've worked for a lot of organizations, and I truly appreciate all of your support with our building because it is so genuine. A couple weeks ago, we had our choir meeting, and afterwards, you know, got to talk to a lot of people, and I've never worked for an organization where everyone seems so genuine and so loving and caring about what we do. And I actually told my students that day because we're all a little nervous having the choir meeting inside the building, and you know, they're like, how'd it go, Mr. Mann? And I told them, I said, they don't realize the opportunities that they have because of the people in this room and the love that you have for their students. So we started the Criminal Justice 2 program this year. The first thing we started off with drone certification. So eight of my students were able to get their FAA pilot's license for drone operation. And even if they choose to go into a field other than law enforcement, now they can be paid to fly drones. And I think it's pretty clear that drones are taking over everything in every industry. And so they're going to have the opportunities to work in that force as well. Coming out of the Criminal Justice 2 program, they can immediately be hired by local law enforcement agencies as cadets and public service aides. And we have quite a few students that have been able to do that so far. And so with your support, we're just going to keep building and building and building and pumping out kids that want to get into law enforcement and better our society. So I'm going to turn it over to Drew first. Go ahead, Drew.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Drew Allen. I'm a senior at Stevenson and a student in the Criminal Justice Program with plans to apply for a police department following graduation. The Livonia Career Technical Center has helped me bridge the gap between my dreams and reality. Ever since I was a little kid, I've dreamed of becoming a law enforcement officer, and the Criminal Justice Program has prepared me to start that dream after graduation. The Criminal Justice Program has not only equipped me with essential life skills like effective communication and de-escalation techniques, but has also instilled in me the principles of accountability and specific knowledge relevant to law enforcement, such as firearm safety, constitutional rights, and criminal law, all of which are crucial for a successful career in this field. This fall, I'm particularly proud to share, with the help of the Criminal Justice Program, I've obtained my Part 107 FAA license. With this achievement, I've been able to position myself as a strong candidate for our police department. As I prepare for graduation, I'm confident in my ability to start a successful career in criminal justice from the lessons I've learned from the Criminal Justice Program and Mr. Mann. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Angel Green and I'm a senior at Churchill. So I want to start by, I joined criminal justice because I'm interested in law. I want to be a civil rights attorney and I eventually want to be a senator in Congress. And so I want to speak from the experience of kind of someone who wants to get into law versus law enforcement. So with the Career Center, I've learned so much. Obviously, as I said, I want to be a senator, so I want to get into the legislative branch. And it's really cool to learn, to see how the legislation that we write affects, the impact of it in the real world. So some of the certifications that we got, CPR, firearm safety, Stop the Bleed certified, and then I'm also one of the students that took the FAA exam and got my drone license. And it was really, these are opportunities that I probably never would have reached out to get if I didn't have the Career Center. And Mr. Mann is one of the best teachers I ever had. I know that after I graduate high school and when I go into my career and when I look back, I'm gonna really look at my time at the LCTC, and it's just done so much for me. So,
It's great. Thank you so much.
thank you.
I feel like a conductor up here. At this time, we would love to welcome Mrs. Lindsay Gray, principal of LCTC.
Good evening. Thank you so much for taking the time to celebrate CTE month. CTE truly offers so many opportunities for our students, and none of that would be possible without your support. I also want to take some time to recognize our wonderful CTE instructors in LPS. These instructors do not just deliver curriculum to students. They bring their expertise into the classroom and they mentor them, and they set them up with industry partners, and they open doors that wouldn't otherwise be open to these students. So they're just amazing. Also, I would like to recognize our wonderful CTE students in LPS who you heard, 4 of them speak today, and that's just a sampling of how amazing our students are, and they really represent what CTE stands for, and I'm just so proud of them. So thanks again for all of your support. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without it. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All set. Are there comments or questions from board members or the superintendent? Mr. McFarland.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to share that today, and especially thank you to the students. Some of the administrators kind of know this is part of the game, that you show up to these things. For you guys to do this on your own time says a lot, and I really look forward to seeing all of your future success. And obviously, thank you, administrators and teachers at all of the buildings. One of the things that became a lot more clear to me as I've been in this role for over a year now is how much extra time goes into, especially that administrator role and some of those really powerful teaching roles, that it's not just the 7 to 3 or 8 to 4. So greatly appreciate all the sacrifice that all you guys make. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Mrs. Jarvis?
Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight, especially our young people. You've got my vote, by the way, Angel. And what a wonderful thing to hear how you are able to take this program and apply it to real life to help you determine your future, what you're going to do after high school. This is something that a lot of students don't have. It's a tremendous opportunity. A great way to find out if you're a good fit for the dreams that you've always had. Sometimes you get in a role a little too late and realize maybe that's not where you should have been. So you have an opportunity to find out what fits and what doesn't. One of the other great opportunities that I've heard you talk about is certification. In our Career Center, there's the opportunity to leave high school with the certifications you will need going into your career. That's tremendous, and that will go with you for the rest of your life. You will take that with you. It sounds like you're going to be taking a lot more than that with you too. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you for coming here and for chasing your dreams. Thank you for coming and sharing that with us.
Thank you. Mrs. Bradford?
Thank you. Well, I can't say more than that. I'm just really blown away by the students and how well you represent yourselves and carry yourselves. To get up at this podium and tell your story is amazing to me, and that's what makes this district so wonderful. And to the staff and everybody that puts all the time into it, like Mrs. Jarvis said, you're learning so much more than just the academic skills. You'll be able to take so many things with you as you move on after high school. And I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank for the staff for being here. I also want to thank the administrators this evening for being here and for all the work that you do every day. This board recognizes our staff and our administrators, and we are so proud of the work that everybody does every day. And what a better representation to have the students up here telling their stories. That just proves how wonderful our staff is and how caring they are. So good luck to you. I know some of you will still have another year or so in your programs, but those moving on, best of luck to you, what a great job you did tonight representing yourselves and the district. So congratulations and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Other comments or questions? Mr. Johnson?
Thank you, President Burton. First of all, thank you to our administrators and our teachers who provide so many opportunities at CTE, and it's expanded over the years. And we see it, the way it's grown. But years ago, I mean, in my era, the parents wanted the kids to go to college because they came from a non-college families. They were farmers, workers, line workers, but they always wanted more for their kids. So they really pushed college. And I always thought that there's got to be a different avenue because not every high school graduate either wants to go to college or is equipped to go to college. And the last thing you want is for a parent to force a student to go to college and they fail. I mean, that's the worst thing for everybody. This creates that avenue for you to find your own career path, find something that you like, and make that your life's work. Interestingly, though, there was a study recently that said high school students that are graduating now, even college students, they can anticipate up to 12 to 15 different jobs during their career. But it really doesn't matter. As long as you're in a path that you enjoy, you can move, like AJ said, to start his own business. What a great idea. You know, that's what a goal that is. And this gives you the opportunity to do that. And look what we've done with our criminal justice and now partnering with Schoolcraft College. That gives you another avenue to pursue, and all of the different categories that kids can now look and say, this really interests me. Let me dip my toe in there a little bit and see if it's something I like. I had a conversation today over this very issue with a friend of mine whose son, who is in his mid-30s, and he really doesn't know what he wants to do. And I said, you have to first understand you have a college degree. You're not limited by what you learned in your college degree. Find out what you like and pursue that. And I think these programs at CTE give you the opportunity to do that. So thank you for our students that continue to go to the program, our administrators and our teachers that continually expand our opportunities, because this is where it's going to be in the future, folks. And thank you to everyone. It's just a great program.
Mrs. Oquist?
Thank you so much, President Burton. My heart is bursting with pride for you guys. I'm not kidding. I felt it when we were at choir. Sorry. Should I repeat that I love you guys?
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm so proud of you. And, you know, career technical education has been part of LPS for almost 45 years. This is not new, but you've taken it to another level. Each one of you, each and every one of you have. And you are truly at the top of your game in every aspect of what you do. When we were there at choir, and Mr. Mann, you mentioned it, every single one of the teachers who are here, no surprise, were also presenters for their quality assurance review and did an exceptional job, along with a couple of their other colleagues, and of course Mrs. Gray, to share a tremendous amount of data about the school and the work of our students, the opportunities available, and really, I have to tell you, their results were exceptional. Their student survey results were truly off the charts. And yet, they were still looking at ways that they could improve. There might have been one or two areas where they weren't literally, I think, above 95%, and they were saying, we're looking into this, we're studying this. I mean, the dedication is unreal at LCTC across the board. And AJ, I hope we get to work on a project in the future. You tell me when your business is up and running, and I'm going to hire you. I am confident because I know if you've been working with Mr. Martin, you've got it going on. And I love the spirit that you already have, that fire in your belly to do this work. Trinity, I know, I love that you will have had a year-long CIP experience. What an opportunity. First, the Career Intern Program is phenomenal. The fact that you get to do it for a year alongside working with people like Mrs. Kiernan and your other teachers, you truly are going in with such a leg up. I don't think I'm going to need you for labor and delivery, but I'm going to tell you if there were another reason, then I would love to see you there, and I would feel very comforted knowing that you were my caregiver. Drew, I feel safer already that you're going to be out there, and you're going to be one of our protectors. You're going to be one of our law enforcement officials in the city or in a surrounding area, hopefully in this city. But the fact that you have a passion for it, it's something you've wanted to do since you were young, and you've just driven right toward that. That makes us so proud to hear your plans for the future and your confidence. It's one of our core elements of our Portrait of a Graduate is confidence. And I have to tell you that came across from each and every one of you. You were obviously curious, you're critical thinkers, you're all the things we hope that you would be. Angel, I want a lawn sign when you run. I'm ready. I'll be there to support you. And I can't wait to just watch your star soar. So we're so proud to have each and every one of you here. And I hope as a staff, you already know how I feel about you, how we as a cabinet team feel about you. We are so proud of the Livonia Career Technical Center. There is no place like it. We thank you for all the tours you give. Lindsay, I don't even know if you could count, and I know many of your staff have been part of that. But it's one of the very first places we want people to see in Livonia Public Schools. And we're so proud of how much you give and how much you care for your kids. And boy, to hear them say the things that they do about their experience, I can't imagine hearing anything better as an educator or as a leader. So thank you all for being here. Mrs. Jenkins, thank you for, where did you go, Mrs. Jenkins? You're all over the place. Thank you for bringing this recognition for such a well-deserved program and group of people.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions for the board? I've always been so impressed with the Career Tech Center, but honestly, when I got onto the Board of Education many years ago, I really assumed that most big districts had something similar. And going out statewide to conferences with other board members, we've learned a lot about what other districts don't have. They don't have anything like this. A few of them have some smaller programs. I've never seen anything statewide that rivals what Livonia Career Tech Center offers. And it makes us so proud. It makes us so thrilled for our kids that you have so many choices. I'm not going to repeat everything that's been said, but amen to all the comments that have been made tonight. But one thing that impresses me is the Career Tech Center, the administrator, the staff, and the students, with the support of the whole administrative team at central office, are constantly trying to tweak it and make it better. And part of that is changing some of the offerings, because some of the classes that are offered right now didn't exist 10 or 20 years ago. And it's exciting to think of what it will evolve into 10 or 20 years from now. But this is very much a very living, moving program. And I love that we are not just continuing to roll out the same class we did last year because we did it last year, but we're trying to see what's relevant now, what's needed, what's not maybe getting the draw, or what's not needed as much in our community or our society right now, and what can we replace it with that's more important or has more of a draw to our students. Some of the certifications you folks mentioned are amazing. Some of those certifications didn't even exist, 8 or 10 years ago, and now we have students walking out off the high school campus and ready to walk into the workforce with these in hand. That's just amazing. And as it was mentioned, as important as having some of these experiences, choosing a class or a course or an area of interest, and finding out that, it's not quite what I thought it was. That's just as valuable as finding out I do love it, before you invest a whole lot of other hours and dollars and years of your life pursuing a career that isn't what you thought it was. So it's okay to find out that's just as valuable as finding out, yes, this is my thing. Most folks walk out of there with a great big smile on their face and saying, yeah, this is the one. My daughter many years ago went through the health program at LCTC, and she's going to be finishing her residency in orthodontics pretty soon. But it was the launching pad into health for her. And then she took that and looked at 17 different areas of where you could go with it. So I love the launching pad that this is for so many students to go into so many different areas. But the last comment I will make is the students who spoke tonight, you folks are phenomenal public speakers, and that's unique for high school students. Most of the adults in the room, we've had to. Some of us get butterflies, some of us don't get butterflies, but we've all done it a million times. You folks, not so much, but I'll tell you, take every opportunity you can, because you guys public speak like no other teenagers I've heard. So, way to go. But thank you so much for coming and spending your evening with us. It's a thrill for us to hear all the exciting things that are going on at the Career Tech Center. We're so proud of you. We are going to have go to our next item, which is 3C, our district update from the superintendent. And following that, we're going to take a 5 or 10 minute break to congratulate all of you honorees for the evening. Mrs. Oquist.
Alrighty, thank you so much, President Burton. So just one of the highlights of our month is to share some great things happening across the district. So I'll call your attention to one of the screens in the room. And as we always start with learning and growing that's happening across the district, Valentine's certainly seems relevant, but I'll tell you, it feels like that was weeks ago, and it was just a few days ago, right? But it's a big holiday. Next to Halloween, this is one of the biggies in elementary school, and so it's something special, and it's a way to share friendship and share some happiness and spread a little bit of love. And so especially at our elementary schools, just lots of fond memories for our kiddos bringing in their shoe boxes or their bags to share their Valentines and their good wishes with friends across the school, those cuties at Coolidge. We have some students here at Cooper Upper Elementary. As we've just heard this evening, that whole idea of hands-on learning is so important. I had the opportunity to spend a couple hours at Cooper last week, and we saw this across the school with students engaging either in the hallway with one another, in the classrooms, in the gymnasium, and really just dialed in on what they're doing. And I love that specific to the upper elementary student experience our kiddos have at our 5-6 schools. Next, we had a great day of music today. I want to thank each of our music teachers in all of the triads for helping coordinate this. Thank you to Mr. Etu for working with our music teacher leaders to make this happen. So the day of music, I think we're on year 3 this year, year 3. And the whole idea is before students have the opportunity to make their choices at 7th grade about which classes to take and do I want to take, which electives do I want. We've talked before about book tastings and being introduced to different books. Well, this was a little bit of an instrument and program tasting. So we had student musicians from each of our 3 high schools visit the triad, the upper elementary in their triad. So we had orchestra students, band students, and vocal music students perform. And our students had the opportunity to hear from each of those groups a little bit about their programs and what they do. And then they actually got an opportunity to try out multiple instruments on site. And it's really tough to pick music as your future if you haven't really had an opportunity to engage in that way. Now, one of the great things is the shifts that have been made at our upper elementary schools allow this really to go on throughout the year in 6th grade. Our upper elementary music teachers do an exceptional job of introducing elements of vocal music, band, and orchestra. But to have that opportunity with high school students, that's even cooler, right? So we want to thank all of the members of our team who were part of making the Day of Music today go so well. Of course, there's nothing but fun at recess time when we have snow. I'm not sure what elementary students like better, either having huge piles of snow to climb on or a snow day. I think I know the answer for high school. Snow day, right? Yeah, I get it. I know. All right, next one. Congratulations to Kappa that performed the SpongeBob musical. Amazing, amazing sets, amazing crew, amazing artists on stage. And not only did folks who bought tickets for the performance get to see that over the the Valentine's Day weekend, but so did many of our students within the district. I think it was it Thursday? Wednesday or Thursday of that week, right? Mrs. Casada? Or Friday? Yeah, to really that full dress rehearsal, right? But how cool, because there were students from the elementary school all the way up through the middle school, right, who were there, and the auditorium was packed. And what a cool experience for our own students to be able to have the treat of seeing our Kappa students at work. So congratulations for another exceptional performance. At Garfield, we have at Garfield Community School, they teamed up with members of the Wayne Risa staff to make Valentine bookmarks that they donated to a local senior center. So we want to thank both Garfield and Risa for partnering on that project. We love to see art in the community, so one of the things that our teachers at Stevenson did was host a night called Art with the Community. So families had an opportunity to go in and try jewelry making, painting, and you see some pretty happy faces there of artists of all ages who were able to come in and enjoy that. So thanks so much to Stevenson's art department for offering that. Next, we had a Someone Special dance at Roosevelt. I don't know if you remember some of those memories. I certainly do with our kids and watching them go off with my husband to those dances, and it was just always such a special moment. So they got to bring someone special, dress up, and go to their dance. So great job, Tigers. Lots of senior nights going on. I know Mr. Conway probably had to sneak out to a athletic event. He has one most evenings, but lots of senior nights happening. So we see one at Franklin on the right, and we have our Livonia Knights, not our Knights, our Livonia girls hockey, varsity hockey on the left, who we will see in just a moment, who had a great success this past weekend as well. So it's such a bittersweet moment. I will tell you, as a former senior mom, I know we've got 2 senior moms on our board. I'll tell you what, those senior nights hit hard. It really is a bittersweet moment because it's such a pinnacle of their schooling, of their athletics, whether it's band, whatever it is. Those senior nights are a big deal, but they're also a time when you know that transition is getting ready to happen. So congratulations to all of our awesome seniors out there. It's amazing we're going to see you cross the stage in just a few months. That's just crazy. All right, some kudos we want to give to our Livonia United varsity girls hockey team. They won the Division II championship, and they have been set as the #1 seed for the playoffs. Both are an amazing first for this team. So a huge congratulations to the Livonia United varsity girls hockey team for those accomplishments. We can't wait to see what you do in the playoffs. Maybe bring home some gold? Wasn't that great yesterday, you guys? Oh, best game in the world. Oh my gosh, I could go on about it. But let's go on about our own kiddos. It's POM, it's state season for POM. We know what a grueling time that is to get ready for that. Oh my gosh, so many hours of effort. We want to congratulate all of our POM teams, JV and varsity, who were in the state championships. And Franklin JV took it once again. They won Division I state champs. So that deserves a round of applause. They will be here at a future board meeting. Franklin varsity won 3rd place in Class A Division I. Churchill varsity 4th place in D2. And Stevenson JV won Division II runners up. So it is a sport that requires a lot of dedication, a lot of coordination, and a lot of effort. So we want to congratulate each one of them for their efforts at states. And speaking of a lot of effort, we had some KLAA wrestling champs. So we want to congratulate all of our champs across the district. We had Franklin athletes Brendan Bach and Alexis Williams, who were champions with 1st place finishes. And on the next slide, we're going to see some pretty awesome athletes who are headed to states. This is a really big deal. Also the pinnacle of their sport. So congratulations to our wrestlers from Franklin, Ian Snyder and Brendan Bach. Churchill's Carson Frank, son of Vice President Crystal Frank. Stevenson's Caden Gantz, High Weaver, and Carrington Fields McCurdy will be also representing LPS. How cool is that? It's a big deal to make it to states, and regionals is a tough place to get through. We want to congratulate each and every one of them for a sport that requires, boy, tremendous grit and determination. So can't wait to see what they do at states. But what a cool thing to be called a state qualifier. Churchill Swim, I think we heard about Austin Stewart last month for some accomplishments that he had. He's back on the board once again. He took first place at the Wayne County Swim Championships. He broke another school record. You might remember he broke a record the last time we talked about him. And do either of you know when states are for swimming?
No, not off the top of my head.
All right. Well, I think we may hear his name yet again.
Wow. 2 weeks maybe.
Okay. Yeah, we're excited. So congratulations, Austin, for continuing to kick it in the pool. Is that what you do? Kick it? I don't know that was the right. I don't know if that was the right verb to use there, but we're gonna stick with it. All right. Here we go. Rolling on with our bowlers. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Here we go. Churchill girls bowling team, they won their division championship, and they are advancing to the state tournament. Have our bowlers just done fantastic? I mean, this is a relatively new sport for our district. I think year 6 now, maybe somewhere around there. And boy, it was a great addition. And we want to also wish Franklin bowler Sophia Street, and I think I'm right in saying, I'm pretty sure Sophia is a freshman. Isn't she a freshman? Yeah, I thought so. Freshman phenom, headed to states. Stevenson bowler Norm Mashney, and Churchill bowlers Carissa and Sophia also for qualifying. So way to go. We're going to see some excitement there. And to have Churchill's whole girls bowling team going is pretty awesome. So good luck. What a fun night. Yes, we had a great time. Oh my goodness, look at all of those handsome and beautiful people. It was the LPS Education Foundation, the 1920s themed gala. Great turnout, and lots of guests dressed in theme. So we want to thank all of the sponsors and all of the guests who were part of supporting the Competitive Edge Savings Program for our students. It was a wonderful night put on by the foundation and a ton of fun. We have some Career Center champs. Oh, look at this. Yes. 2 of our advanced med students competed in Region 8 HOSA competition. They placed in the top 5, I'm assuming out of many students. So Kayla French from Stevenson High School placed in surgical technologist, and Jasper James, that's a pretty cool name, Jasper James, from Churchill High School in phlebotomy. So congratulations, Kayla and Jasper. Those are probably familiar faces to you guys. And mark your calendars. Coming up, we've got robotic competition at Churchill High School, April 3rd and 4th. Admission is free. Make sure you come by. Kickoff is normally around 10 or 11 the first day. Lots of excitement, and please come on and cheer our Warriors and our Tyros teams from across all 3 of our high schools. Grease is the word. Franklin players. All right, here we go. They will be on stage in mid-March. You can check the QR code on this, which always goes up on the front page of our website, also on the Franklin website and the district website if you would like to purchase tickets to check out Grease. And believe it or not, we are getting ready to welcome the class of 2039. Yes, those are our incoming kindergartners. Just think about the number that was on your letter jacket. But now, 2039, they're coming in and they are getting ready to start on March 2nd. So that also opens for young 5s as well. And that is it. Thank you so much, President Burton.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
A lot of exciting things.
Always.
We are going to recess for about 5 to 10 minutes so we can congratulate all of you, our honorees of the evening. So we are at recess right now. Thank you. Welcome back. We, if you missed what we just had and were able to experience, rewind it and watch it. We were able to celebrate our administrators in the district and our Livonia Career Technical Center. So there were a lot of really exciting things. I was remiss at the beginning of my meeting she won't be happy I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'd like to welcome Laura New to our meeting. Laura's, yeah, I know. Hello. Mrs. Gunta is usually with us on our Monday night meetings, our regular voting meetings, but she had to be out of town for a couple of days. So thank you very much, Laura, for stepping in and taking care of all of our needs throughout the day today, getting ready for tonight and being here with us this evening. We're going to move on in our agenda right now. The next item on our agenda is item 4, the consent agenda. And may I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
I was ready to hear Bradford. No,
I was
Burton
ready to
sounded
say that,
weird.
yes.
Yeah. Mr. McFarland.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the following consent agenda as recommended by the superintendent. Minutes of the regular meeting of January 26, 2026.
Support.
Actually, if I can back up for a moment, I skipped right over audience communications. So can we put consent agenda on hold for just a moment, please?
Sure. Absolutely.
We're going to back up to 3D. I had all kinds of notes going on all over my communications thing, and it just got lost in the notes. 3D is audience communications. I do not have any blue slips. Are there any members of our audience who would like to participate in audience communications this evening? Alrighty. Seeing none, now we will go on to item 4, consent agenda. Mr. McFarland, would you mind rereading our motion for us again?
President Bradford. There we go.
Yes.
The wheels are off.
Yeah.
President Burton.
Yeah.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the following consent agenda item as recommended by the superintendent. Minutes of the regular meeting of January 26, 2026.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Bradford. Are there any board members who would like to remove this one item from the consent agenda and place it on the regular agenda for discussion? No. Seeing none, we have the motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Bradford for the consent agenda. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mr. McFarland.
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford.
Yes.
Mrs. Frank.
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. We will now move on to the next item on our agenda, which is item 6, business matters, and 6A is approval of district door access purchase. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mr. Johnson.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the recommendation from its owner's representative, Plant Moran Real Point, and its technology consultant, IDS, to purchase new door access and safety upgrades equipment from Sequoia Technologies, Rochester Hills, Michigan, in an amount not to exceed $2,371,994, including contingency.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Frank. And we are going to hear from, please, Mr. Green on this item.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
I don't know if you
How
can
are
see me
you?
over here.
Yes.
One of our character traits for our portrait of a graduate is confidence, and I'm really trying not to take it offense that everybody leaves before business matters after our board meetings, but I am really confident in this approval request for our district door access purchase. We brought some great information to the Board of Education at our study session and our committee of the whole, and discussed the current end of life for our current door access system and the rationale for that. You'll see that in our materials that we provided in our committee of the whole meeting, and we're looking forward to the board approving this. Our tech consultant, as mentioned in the reading, vetted all of our proposals, and we feel this is the time to move forward with this proposal, not only because it will give us modern safety and security enhancements, but also it'll integrate with our camera technology in our schools, which were some of the big points we discussed with the Board of Education this past month. So we'd ask for that to be approved by the board.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Are there comments or questions from superintendent or board members? Mr. Green, if I'm not mistaken, this is the item that has been in use since the mid-1990s, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So we get our use out of our items. But it is time to, in my opinion, to move on. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Frank, for the approval of district door access purchase. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton,
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 6B, approval of purchase and installation of Churchill and Franklin High School pool filtration systems. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the replacement of the pool filtration system at Churchill and Franklin High Schools by Barzini Contracting LLC, Brighton, Michigan, for a total amount of $892,000, which includes contingency.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And we will hear from Mr. Green.
Yes, thank you. You may recall last summer we did this exact work at Stevenson High School. Our sinking fund calls for a replacement of these filtration systems at Churchill and at Franklin. Our athletic directors have already worked on a plan for making sure pool use will be available throughout and sharing throughout this process, and we're going to complete one of those pools and then move on to the next. So I feel confident in the timeline that was presented by Plant Moran, and our work on this is going to be one of those big summer projects like last year.
All righty. Are there comments or questions from board members or superintendent? Again, as a reminder to our audience, this is the portion of the meeting that we have discussed these items at length in the previous two meetings. So if you'd like to hear more details, rewind to the committee of the whole or the study session, or attend the study session, and you can get a lot of details. Seeing no other questions or comments on this item, we have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for the approval of purchase and installation of Churchill and Franklin High School pool filtration systems. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 6C, approval of Marshall Raising Project. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Bradford.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approves the recommendation of the superintendent or her designee to award the contract for the demolition of Marshall School to Adamo Group, Detroit, Michigan, for a total cost not to exceed $386,507.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And we will hear from Mr. Green.
Yes, this is not an item we just started discussing this month. This is an item we've been discussing with the Board of Education for over a year now. It certainly is a serious decision when we take one of our buildings offline and raise it. George W. Bush was the president last time Marshall was used as an elementary school. We were fortunate to have the Learning Tree for many years as a great tenant in the Marshall building. But as we've discussed for quite some time now, we have reached that tipping point where Marshall needs to come down due to the costs of improvements that it would take to bring it online. And more importantly, we don't have a current use for that building. So we'd ask for approval to get that process started.
Thank you. Are there comments or questions from board members or the superintendent? I would like to thank Mr. Green. I'm blanking. Our building insight folks. Thank you. Carl, thank you. The team, put it that way, for taking a very serious look at the playground. The elementary school has been closed as an elementary school for many years. It has been utilized as a child care facility and for some of the other purposes of Livonia Public Schools in and out of that building in a smaller context. But it has not been used for a K-12 purpose for a very long time. However, the playground is consistently used by the community. So I would like to thank you very much, Carl Roberts, thank you, just came into my head. Thank you, Mr. Green and Mr. Roberts and the team for getting out there and taking a really serious look at whether or not the playground has to come down or not. Because at times when that equipment is deemed no longer safe, it does have to come down. But in this case, it was determined that it has at least a handful of years left of good life in it. So I would like to sincerely thank you for allowing that playground equipment to stay up. That's a big deal. That's a big win for the community.
Thank you.
At this time, we have a motion for approval of Marshall Raising Project. Motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Jarvis. And Mrs. Costa, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. And I understand, Mr. Green, that work is going to be done over the winter?
Yes, we're going to get started on that within the next couple of weeks. Ms. Jenkins has worked really hard in the communication department as well to prepare letters to go out to quite a wide geographical area near the Marshall community to let them know about the work and where they can, who they can contact should they have any questions, detailing some of the scope of the work being done in that area.
Okay, thank you. The next item on our agenda is item 6D, approval of resolution for refunding of prior bonds. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mrs. Frank?
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the attached resolution to ratify and affirm the sale of 2026 refunding bonds to refinance a portion of the district's outstanding 2016 bonds.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. Johnson, and we will hear from Mrs. Smith.
Thank you, President Burton. If passed, this resolution would ratify and affirm the sale of 2026 refunding bonds to refinance a portion of the district's outstanding 2016 bonds and delegates authority to the superintendent or myself to finalize the bond sale. Thank you for the time. We dug into this back in December at our study session and the committee of the whole meeting. To put it in a nutshell, this is kind of similar to homeowners who would go and refinance a mortgage in an effort to save cost on the interest side. That's what we were looking to do here, and I'm very pleased to share that net present value, we are going to save our taxpayers $7 million with this bond sale. So what that means for our community, that's not $7 million that we now have to pay the bondholders. So that's great news. How that works is just future payments will be less to repay the 2016 bonds back. So great news. Very excited with the outcome of this, and pleased to bring this to you tonight.
Excellent. $7 million is a significant amount of money.
Yes.
And thank you, Mrs. Smith, for staying on top of these things and not letting them just sit and assume that what we had many years ago is still the best today. So
My pleasure. Thank you.
Are there comments or questions from board members or the superintendent? No? Seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. Johnson, for approval of resolution for refunding of prior bonds. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 7, instruction matters, and 7A is the approval of limited schools of choice 105-105C for the 2026-2027 year. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mrs. Jarvis.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent to participate in limited schools of choice under Section 105 and 105C for the 2026-2027 school year. At least one seat for kindergarten through 6th grade, with a maximum of 125 total seats for the 2026-2027 school year. This limited schools of choice window includes all elementary schools, as well as Nijiro and Webster ACAT, which have testing and admission recommendations.
Support.
Mrs. Jarvis, can you reread the last sentence of the motion, please? It was requirements, not recommendations.
Thank you. This limited school of choice window includes all elementary schools, as well as DGERO and Webster ACAT, which have testing and admission requirements.
Support.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And we will be hearing from Mrs. Keats on this item.
Yes, you will. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We discussed this topic, section 105, 105C, at great length at our study session, as well as the committee of a whole. It deals with limited schools of choice. As Mrs. Jarvis read into the record, we are requesting that we have at least one seat in grades kindergarten through sixth grade, not to exceed 125 total seats. This would accommodate our needs in our lower elementary schools, as well as Nigiero and Webster, which do have additional testing requirements for admittance.
Are there comments or questions from the board or superintendent on this item? Again, this is just for the benefit of the public that may not have been following the schools of choice discussion along the way. Livonia does not have a come one, come all open door school of choice. This is a very limited schools of choice. We do concentrate on the youngest grades because we found that students who come into Livonia Public Schools then are most likely to be at the same academic level as their other classmates who have been in our program for some time. Bringing in students at much higher grade levels sometimes is not, sometimes there's a lot of catching up that needs to be done. But when we can have our students coming in at the youngest grades into Livonia Public Schools, we have found that's the greatest degree of success. Mrs. Keats, just to confirm, if a family is choosing to attempt to have their kids coming in through schools of choice, they are responsible for transportation for the students. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, great. And then if they happen to move into Livonia Public Schools district, then they would be subject to whatever transportation rules would be, they would be on, or under rather, depending on where that house may be.
That is correct, yes. If they move into our boundaries within LPS, they would be a resident student, and therefore transportation would apply at that time.
Okay. And if they do come in as a schools of choice student, once they come in, they are welcome to stay in Livonia Public Schools through high school graduation as long as it's a continuous run.
That is correct, as long as they file the continuation paperwork when they leave the upper elementaries into the secondary programs.
Okay, great. Alrighty. If you have any questions, there likely are folks who are listening to this meeting who may have questions. Should they be contacting your office, Mrs. Keats?
Yes, they can.
Okay. So you can call the main district number, which is 734-744-2500, and ask for the office of Mrs. Keats if you have questions on schools of choice.
I'd be happy to help.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions on this item? No. Seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford, for the approval of limited schools of choice 105/105C for the 2026-2027 school year. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 7B, approval of purchase of K-4 math textbook and materials. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mr. McFarland.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the recommendation to purchase Bridges in Mathematics, 3rd edition, from the Math Learning Center, 1850 Oxford Street, Southeast Salem, Oregon 97302, for $442,306.80. This includes teacher digital and print materials, manipulatives, professional development, and 2 years of student journals. There is no digital platform for students.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mr. Johnson, for the approval of purchase of K-4 math textbooks and materials. And tonight we will be hearing from Mrs. O'Brien.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm going to go back in time a little bit, like my friend Mr. Green likes to do. And I found our board approval from 2007 when we purchased Everyday Math. So we have had everyday math for 19 years. We began the process almost 2 years ago to dig in and begin to look at other elementary mathematics programs. So last spring, Mrs. Corey, our elementary coordinator, started working with a group of teachers, planning, so not last spring, 2024, to dig in, utilizing ed reports, and they provided us with some professional development of how to dig in and look at curriculum resources. We partnered with Wayne County RESA and received a grant to for that professional development and to update mathematic resources. From there, they took the next 6 months looking at the top-rated green programs on ed reports. Last spring, they chose their top 2 with a third slightly farther behind choice that if either of the 2 that they chose to pilot did not work, they had a third choice. Last spring, they piloted Envision textbook, and starting at the beginning of this school year through Christmas break, they piloted Bridges Mathematics. In January, they met, and it was a unanimous decision to choose Bridges Mathematics. This program, when we think of our portrait of a graduate, this program hits what we would like our students to experience. There's collaboration and communication. There's problem solving and critical thinking. Students are working together to solve problems, but also then have that individualized practice and digging into how to solve math problems independently. This recommendation provides a student journal for 2 years and all of the teacher materials, so the teacher platform that they teach from, the teacher guide, and then manipulatives for the class to utilize. As Mr. McFarland said, there is no student digital platform with this textbook. It is a hands-on mathematical program, and the student feedback, we survey our students when we do a pilot, were 100% they enjoyed their experience. They liked the manipulatives that they utilized and felt stronger in math. This program has 2 different parts to it, a number corners part, which is at the younger grades, it starts with a calendar, but it does much more than a typical calendar program, and then a 60-minute core performance part of the program. So we are recommending very highly this shift in math for the first time in a while, and this purchase also comes with professional development to get everyone started and immersed in the program, and then we'll continue to support teachers' use and growth next year during district teams throughout the year so that teachers feel supported as they make this shift utilizing this program. The funds come from the elementary textbook budget, which has been supported by the Wayne County Enhancement Millage, in addition to the grant from Wayne County RESA, the 23H grant, which was for piloting and updating your mathematical resources. So we have funds from that that we can utilize to apply to this purchase.
Excellent, thank you. Are there comments or questions from board members or the superintendent? Just again, thank you to our community, as you said, with a lot of your information in there. This is supported by the Wayne County Enhancement Millage. So these are dollars that were voted on and approved by our community, and this is one of the ways that you're seeing them at use. So we're thrilled to be able to update this material, especially when it comes down to a unanimous decision among a whole group of folks who piloted it. That says a whole lot.
It does.
If assuming this is approved tonight, Mrs. O'Brien, will this be in place for September?
Yes, we hope to begin the professional development at our May PD day.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or questions? No. Seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mr. Johnson, for the approval of purchase of the K-4 math textbooks and materials. And Mrs. Acosta, will you take the roll, please?
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is 8 personnel matters, and 8A is teachers for approval. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Mr. Johnson.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and offer employment for the 2025-2026 school year to the teachers listed on the attached document.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Bradford for teachers for approval. And we'll hear from Mr. Francis. Oh, we'll hear from Mr. Grizek.
It's me, guys. The prospective new staff members we are presenting to the board this evening have been selected to fill our needs in the areas of special education and social work. They are well qualified to fill their respective positions and have been fully vetted through our extensive interview process. We are confident they will perform at a high level and represent Livonia Public Schools in a manner that is consistent with our shared vision and collective commitments. These positions have also been included in the 2025-26 budget. We are pleased for your recommendation, these talented individuals to join the LPS family, and with your approval, we are excited to have them working with our students.
Excellent. Thank you. Are there comments or questions on this item?
Welcome.
Yes, welcome to LPS. We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Bradford for teachers for approval. And Mrs. Acosta, will you take the roll, please?
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford.
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Yes.
Mrs. Frank.
Yes.
Mr. McFarland.
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. Welcome to our new folks to join the LPS team. Next item on our agenda is 8B, teachers for tenure. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and acknowledge that tenure status has been granted to the following teachers, effective on the respective date. Kimberly Venable, February 9th, 2026. Jacqueline Walker, February 10th, 2026.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Frank, and I believe we'll hear from Mr. Grizek on that.
Yep. Our teachers for tenure on this agenda have successfully completed the district's requirements for probationary teachers, including years of service, evaluations, overall performance, and documentation of student growth. We have carefully reviewed all supporting materials along with the recommendations of our building administration and have determined that these educators should be granted tenure status with Livonia Public Schools. We wish to congratulate these staff members for reaching this milestone and look forward to their continued success working in Livonia.
Excellent. Are there comments or questions from the board or superintendent on this item?
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. This is a big deal in a teacher's career, so congratulations to these fine ladies. We have the motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Frank for teachers for tenure. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Frank.
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford.
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. McFarland.
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. Congratulations to our folks. The next item on our agenda is item 8C, resignations. That does not require a board vote. That's just for board information only. Next item is 8D, retirements. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Bradford.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District adopt the attached resolutions of appreciation for services rendered by Lori Christensen, Sherry Kuhn, Charles Lehman, Catherine Peterson, and Michelle Wagner.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, and we will be hearing from Mr. Francis on this item.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, we are honoring and congratulating 5 members of our LPS family who are retiring from their positions with Livonia Public Schools between now and the end of the school year. As these staff members leave the district, they will be taking with them a combined total of 137.8 years of collective experience as a teacher, counselor, bus driver, food service worker, paraprofessional, Secretary, yes, that's more positions than people who are
Yes.
retiring. We've had some folks who have done multiple things when they've been here. We had a paraprofessional go on to become a secretary. We had a teacher go on to become a counselor, things like that. So these are folks who've been around quite a while for us, and we really do want to wish them well. So on behalf of the administration, I want to thank them. They are wonderful staff members. They've had dedicated years of service with us, and they provide the students of Livonia Public Schools a great service. We ask the board to please adopt this attached resolution of appreciation for these retirees.
Thank you. Are there comments or questions from our board or superintendent? Mrs. Bradford?
I just want to congratulate all these fine people on their retirement. That's a lot of years of service to put in in a great career. So I just want to say thank you, and I hope that you all enjoy your retirement years, and thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Same, we wish you the best. Thank you for everything.
Mr. Johnson?
Thank you, President Burton. I generally don't comment on the retirements. We've all known people have retired, and it's been sad to see them go. I just want to really thank Chuck Lehman. Chuck drove Eric's bus
Really?
for years.
Did not know that.
Rose and I know Chuck personally. He's always taken just wonderful credit or care of Eric, and you all know Eric.
Yes.
And
He's a sweet little guy.
to get him safely to his school and back every day, I just want to thank Chuck for all he's done for Eric and our family.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? This is always one that's bittersweet for us to vote on. As much as we're happy for folks to be able to go on to the next chapter in their lives, we will miss them very much. And yes, other people will come in and take over those roles, but each one of these people has left an indelible mark on a lot of kids. So we thank you very much for your service to Livonia Public Schools and all of our children. We have a motion by Mrs. Bradford, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for retirements. And Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. Congratulations. The next item on our agenda is 9, hearing from board members, and 9A is the second reading of board policy DFL, investments. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton,
Yes. Mrs. Frank?
just one second.
That's okay.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy DFL investments.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. Johnson, for the second reading of board policy DFL, investments. And we will hear from Mrs. Smith.
Thank you, President Burton. This is a board policy that had not been updated in a number of years. While the policy was still applicable, we took the time to do a thorough review and streamline it a bit. So this is one that had a first reading last month, and there have been no changes to it for tonight.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from board members or the superintendent? No. Seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mr. Johnson, for second reading of board policy DFL, investments. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton.
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 9B, second reading of board policy JDA, corporal punishment prohibition. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy JDA, corporal punishment prohibition.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford, and we will hear from Mrs. Sprow on this item.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I bring to you our second reading for the prohibition of corporal punishment. We've been discussing this over the past 30 days and have put a great deal of thought and consideration into updating some of our language so that it's reflective of best practices here in Livonia and also state standards that we have. I don't have any updates to make from what our reading was last month, so I am proposing that we move forward as is written today.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprow. Comments or questions from the board or superintendent? And yes, and just so folks at home know, this is not a change in policy for Livonia Public Schools. Matter of fact, we have added the word prohibition to the title because corporal punishment has been prohibited for a very, very long time. But we are just updating our language in this case.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Bradford, for second reading of Board Policy JDA, corporal punishment prohibition. And Mrs. Acosta, will you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is 9C, second reading of Board Policy JDAAA, emergency use of seclusion and restraint. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mr. McFarland.
All of those things.
That was hard. Mr. McFarland.
It's going to take a while.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy JDAAA, emergency use of seclusion and restraint.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, and we will hear from Mrs. Sprow.
Hello again.
Hello.
So we've also discussed this policy over the last month or so, and I had it for first reading back in January, which seems so long ago. There aren't any significant change to the language that we have within JDAAA, except to clarify that seclusion and restraint really should only be used in emergency situations. So we wanted to be really clear with what our expectations are here in the district. And again, this is just in alignment with best practices and also with Michigan standards. So we haven't done any changes, just some updates to clarify our language here as well. As we had it with our first reading, you see exactly the same language today for our second reading.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from the board or superintendent? No? All righty, seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for the second reading of Board Policy JDAAA, emergency use of seclusion and restraint. Mrs. Acosta, would you please take the roll?
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 9D, second reading of Board Policy JQE, pregnant and parenting students. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton.
Mr. Johnson.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy JQE, pregnant and parenting students.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Frank. And we will hear from Mrs. Sprow on this. No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Keats on this item.
Yes, thank you. So over the last board meeting cycle, we heard the first reading of policy JQE, pregnant and parenting students. We updated this policy to be in alignment with the Title IX policy, which is a federal law. So we provide reasonable accommodations to students who are pregnant or parenting within our schools. There are no significant changes, or any changes for that matter, since the first reading.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from superintendent or board members? No. Seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Frank, for the second reading of board policy JQE, pregnant and parenting students. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that motion passes. The next item on our agenda, hold on a moment, please, is item 9E, second reading of board policy JR, student records. May I have a motion, please?
President Burton?
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy JR, student records.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Bradford. And we were going to hear from Mrs. Keats on this item.
Yes, thank you again. I have brought forth policy JR. This is the second reading, as we went over the first reading at our January meeting, as well as study session and committee of the whole. There are no changes that have been made. This policy states we will comply with the FERPA law and disclose records as the law states.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from the board or superintendent on this item? Seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Bradford, for the second reading of board policy JR, student records. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll?
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
Mrs. Frank?
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Burton?
Yes, and that item, that motion passes. The next item on our agenda is item 9F, first reading of bylaws of the board, BHA, Code of Ethics. And may I, oh, this is the first reading, so we don't need a motion on this. This is an item that, that is handled by the board every year. It is part of it is a bylaw, so it is part of our policy book. And it does state that the board will review, revise as necessary, and sign our code of ethics. This is something that our board takes very seriously. We did a major revision of our code of ethics, and really a condensation of it because it had gotten to be really lengthy many years ago. Boiled it down to 2 pages, and very intentionally they are I will statements. This is a commitment from every member of the Board of Education to these items. Each year we do wind up tweaking a few little things. Usually they are grammatical or just for clarification purposes. But we do have these items, those that we are going to propose a little change to. I'll go over those for the benefit of the public and benefit of the board members. This was last revised April 21st of 2025, so it would have a new revision date of, assuming we would be voting on this at the next meeting in March 23rd. Let me see here. About halfway down, we're looking at the red items. The first bullet that we have revisions on, we're just breaking those up into a couple more sentences that flow more readily. I will review and evaluate all board policies, bylaws of the board, and procedures and processes of the board. I will work to make desired changes so that they will be current, relevant, and in accordance with state and/or federal laws. When requested, I will review all administrative procedures brought forth and give input to the superintendent. However, I recognize that the board does not vote to approve administrative procedures. Are we all okay with those changes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next one that has a change on it, and by the way, at the committee of the whole meeting, we went through every one of these, whether they had changes or not. If you'd like to hear the entire discussion, please go back to the committee of the whole meeting and you can hear the whole the entire discussion on these. They can also be found in our policy book, which is on the website. The next item that has a change is, I will come to board meetings prepared to discuss and take action on all agenda items. I will read and study the board meeting information and will seek clarification if needed prior to each board meeting. Are we all okay with that?
I think
You're striking out will.
Oop, you're right.
Striking out the will. And.
You're right, I'm sorry, let me reread that. I will come to board meetings prepared to discuss and take action on all agenda items. I will read and study the board meeting information and seek clarification if needed prior to each board meeting.
Yeah, that's better.
Thank you. Yep. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Pull this down. Sorry, my computer's not cooperating with me. Then near the very bottom of the statements, I will support the hiring of those persons being recommended by the administration as the best qualified to serve as district staff. We all right with that?
Yep.
Then I will participate in the revision and signing.
Review.
No.
I'm sorry, review, you're right. I will participate in the review, revision, and signing of this code of ethics annually at the beginning of each calendar year.
Yes.
Then, as board president, there are 5 or 6 bullet points that are unique to the board president. They're not always fun, but they're part of the job. The following is a revision, and the reason for this revision is the majority of it is taken straight out of state law. I will advise persons addressing the board to do so in a respectful manner and will not allow rude or indecent behavior, profane or indecent discourse, or otherwise willfully disruptive behavior to be directed to the board, superintendent, cabinet members, or others during board meetings. Mr. Johnson.
President Burton, you read the first line by saying, I will advise persons addressing the board to do so in a respectful manner, and you put in, and will not allow.
Okay, let me reread it then. I better slow down. I will advise persons addressing the board to do so in a respectful manner and not allow rude or indecent behavior, profane or indecent discourse, or otherwise willfully disruptive behavior to be directed to the board, superintendent, cabinet members, or others during board meetings.
Yes.
Did
Sounds
we
good.
indecent it twice?
You know,
Yeah, it's state code.
it is in state law written that way twice. I agree, it's redundant, but, and that comes straight out of state law.
Okay.
Are we all right with that?
Sure.
The next one is, I will not permit disruptive behavior and will advise attendees as such. If needed, I may order the disruptive person to be removed from the meeting.
Yes.
Again, that is state law. We hope that never happens, but that is state law. That is the end of the revisions. Are there anybody, and there's a legal update that's at the bottom. Are there any changes, questions, comments to those? No? All right. Mrs. Acosta, would you please put that on the agenda for next month's voting meeting for a vote? We are at item 9G, hearing from board members. Do any board members have anything that they would like to share? Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, President Burton. 2 things. Number one, with regard to our code of conduct, it is a tedious process that we go through, but we spend the time to do it because we all respect each other, and we want to make sure we're doing it right. What's always amazing to me, though, from year to year, we review it, and next year we'll come back and we'll have revisions again, because sometimes our thinking changes from year to year. But it's the code that we spend probably more time on preparing to go through it, and each one of us reading a line or a bullet point. But that's the important part about it, is though, and then we we hopefully come, we've all read it, and if there's something we want to change, we discuss that item. I just think from a board member, as colleagues, I appreciate all the time we put into this particular item. And it shows how dedicated we are to doing the job that we sit here and do week to week. You know, I told Dave this was only gonna be one meeting a month. I lied to him. I apologize, Dave. I fess up now. Second of all, we spend a lot of time on policies, but not nearly as much as Cabinet does, to go through each one of the policies that affects your specific area, and the time that you take to go through it and update it as legally required, or as sometimes we just say it's not quite as clear. And I think Mrs. Sproul made that comment. We just want to make it as clear as possible so that there cannot be any misunderstandings of what we're trying to do. And we as the board know how much it takes for you to go through those policies. If anybody has ever seen the book, it's like 2 binders about that thick. So we as a board appreciate all the work that you put in to do that and bring them to us month to month. I know we had 5 second readings, which is a little unusual. We usually have a couple. But the amount of time that you put in, it is greatly appreciated by this board. So thank you.
Thank you. And do any other board members have anything they'd like to share this evening? Or Superintendent? Alrighty. We have now come to the end of our agenda. Item 10 is adjournment. We wish you all a good evening, and we are adjourned.